What's the best flag football tournament in Europe? Hi, I'm Finn. I play flag football for Team Ireland, and this year I went to 10 flag football tournaments across all of Europe. So today I'm going to rate them all out of 10 to see which tournament is really the best. I'm rating them based on 6 flag specific categories, so if you play flag, this will actually mean something to you. So let's get into it. The 6 categories I'm rating the tournaments on are the stream, the ref, the pitches and facilities, the format of the tournament, timing of the tournament, and the competition level of that tournament. And then I'll total all those scores up to give the final total out of 10. So the first tournament on the list is Flagging New Year, and for that I gave it a 5.2 out of 10. I absolutely love this tournament. However, it did lose some points for not having a stream, being a 12-minute format, and the fact that it has volunteer refs. However, Ravenscraig as a facility is absolutely world class, the vibes are unmatched, and I would definitely recommend anyone to go to this tournament. So now we move on to a tournament that's very similar to Flagging New Year, and it's Flagging Ironman. For this one, I gave it a 6.2 out of 10. It did lose points for all the same reasons as Flagging New Year, but it gained a few points for the fact that I love the format. It's all one day, however it's only 6 or 7 person teams, so it can be super grueling to play 8 games all in the one day. Absolutely love it and couldn't recommend this tournament anymore. Next up is Adria Bowl, and for this tournament I gave it an 8.8 out of 10. Held in Porridge, Croatia, it was an unbelievable tournament. It had a great stream, full IFAF rules, and a full crew for every game. And if I really had to nitpick, the one criticism I could find was that the competition level wasn't the absolute highest I'd been to this year. My own domestic tournament is next, and I didn't have to travel far for that because it was on in Dublin. Of course I'm talking about Celtic Bowl, and for this I gave it a 4.7 out of 10. It was only the tournament's first year, but the lack of a reliable stream and a 12-minute format made it lose some points. However, it did gain some points back because the National Sports Campus here is an unbelievable facility, and I'd love to see this tournament happening again. That brings us to Utrecht, the Netherlands, and King Bowl. And this tournament, I gave a 5.5 out of 10. I wasn't a huge fan of the refs, however, it was ran on time, and for the few pitches that were streamed, the stream quality was really high, so it gained some points there. Then there's a tournament that had the most teams enter it this year, and that's Copenhagen Bowl. For this one, I gave it a 7.3 out of 10. This is a super good competition, and it had a full ref crew for every game, which I appreciate. However, it did lose some points to the fact that there's only one pitch streamed, and the format wasn't full IFAF rules. That brings us to Germany, and I gave Big Bowl a 7.2 out of 10. It was a great competition, ran on an insanely hot weekend, and it really only lost points because it had a 12-minute format. Capital Bowl in Paris was next, and I gave that a 6.5 out of 10. This is another personal favorite for me, but unfortunately the format and the lack of a stream let this one down, although the final was streamed. But overall, it had a great feel, and I would love to go back to that tournament next year. Lastly, we have Flagapalooza coming in with a 6.3 out of 10. This is another tournament that lost out a little bit for the format and the lack of stream. However, I did like the facilities, and the fact that we were able to play on the pitches that were completely burnt out from being at the very end of summer is props to them. Finally, and kind of a bonus tournament, we have the Euros, or Euroflag 2025, and I gave that an 8.5 out of 10. You probably would have thought this would have been the best tournament, however, it didn't have a stream for all the pitches, which is kind of crazy, and the facilities, if you know, you know. So what are your thoughts? Did I get it right, or what was your favorite tournament this year?